Check it. Left's out, guys, left's out. So today's episode's all about cameras for filming paintball. And I want to show you guys the latest and greatest zoom camera right here. This small little guy, unassuming, but amazing. So let's start out. So GoPros, contours, those are great for recording. I think some of the Sony ones too. I can't remember the name for them, but the Sonys actually have built-in stabilization, so they're actually pretty slick. And you know, just for filming, sort of running, I think they're actually a lot better than the GoPros. But GoPro, great picture quality, very versatile. You can use them on a lot of different stuff, not just paintball. So if you get them, you can use them for tons of other stuff. Contours, those are actually great too. You know, the price wise, I got a cricket in the garage if you guys can't hear that. That sucks. It means he's under there somewhere. Where were we? Sony HDR. This is what I've been using for the zoom camera, sniper cam for a long time, and this thing isn't that heavy, but the housing on the barrel, it's like a brick when you combine them. That thing under your barrel, it swings, and you know, it always stays level. It's a nice thing about it. But when you're snap shooting, it swings out, and it actually drags your accuracy all over the place. GoPro's light, but again, no depth downfield, extremely wide angle. You can replace the lenses on these, but it is expensive to get a good quality lens. Not really worth it. And the camera parts themselves are very expensive, especially if it's out of production model. Good luck getting aftermarket parts even. Shot Track. These things suck. They're garbage. Don't buy them. It's made by ATN. I wish I would have thought of something funny about the name, but basically, if you guys buy these and you have a problem with them, good luck getting it fixed. They will not respond to your emails. They suck. These things crack. They're plastic pieces of shit. They're 30 frames per second. 5x zoom, which was actually pretty cool for a little bit. But man, their picture quality wasn't that great. You had to do a lot of color correction. But again, any problems, no warranty. It's not worth the paper it's printed on. RunCam2. This little guy, what is it? $75 unmodified for 170 angle or 120 angle lens. You can actually pick the lens. 120 gives you a little bit more depth downfield, but it's still pretty wide angle. You're not going to get a lot of zoom down range. So BrainExploder airsoft guy. I was flipping around trying to figure out what type of different cameras out there. Stumbled upon his website. He offers a couple different solutions. He offers, I think right now, a 16mm, a 35mm, and 90mm lens replacement on these. Now, these RunCams, they're cheap. The best part about them, the parts for them, extremely cheap. You break the frame like you did on the Shot Track, where you'd have to just throw this piece of crap away. $10 replacement for a frame. And these things can take a hit. I can't tell you how many times I've been hit directly in the lens already. No problems. The sensor with the lens mount, that thing breaks. $25. The board breaks. You can replace it separately. Everything on there is replaceable, and the battery is swappable. You just pull the battery out, stick a new one in, and you're good to go. And the batteries are cheap. The batteries are $15. So, the only drawback to this is the mounting on these things. Not the best solution right now. I'll tell you guys, there's a couple different solutions, and the 35mm option is what I actually purchased from this guy. 16mm is not going to have the same amount of zoom. I wish he had a different option for everybody, but you can actually order the lenses. I think they're like the CCTV lenses. You can order them online. You just need an infrared filter in the middle between the lens and the sensor so it doesn't screw up the color during the day. But 24mm, 25mm, something like that, I think would probably be the best for paintball. The 35mm is great downrange. You get a lot of clarity downrange. However, paintballs have a nasty arc to them, as you guys are well aware. You guys play, so the trajectory of the paintball goes down. So when you mount these, you want them under the barrel for the best results. You want under the barrel, and you actually want a bit of an angle on it. Now, when I built the housing here, I actually added a couple washers so I could get a little bit of downward angle. You can zoom a little bit further, up close shots, use your GoPro, use whatever you're using for the regular gameplay. Hopefully your hopper's not in the way. Downrange, this thing's pretty good, however they may be out of frame. But again, this thing is extremely small. This mount right here, I should say, I think it was, I can't remember how much it was separately. I think it was 30 bucks, 35 bucks, 40 bucks, something like that. But it's 3D printed. It's made for a Weaver rail, so it's got a very low profile. Comes with mounts that use a GoPro fitting, or you can use just a standard camera screw type fitting. So you can do either one. Mounts are cheap. But when I decided to do it, I wanted to try it. I already had the Weaver rail. So this piece right here, this adapter for the Weaver rail, $5 off Amazon. I will put the link in the comments so you guys can look into it. But again, $5. I think the first one I bought took a couple months to arrive from China. However, they now sell them locally in the States, so you guys can get them. If you have Prime, you can give them free shipping, 2 days, whatever the case. These things, extremely simple, 2 buttons, and you can have it record automatically. It has a Wi-Fi button so you can sync your phone to it. You can tweak all the settings in there, but when you get them, you need to check the settings. These things are set to stop recording at 3 minutes. For whatever reason the case is, go in there, turn the 3 minutes off, make sure your audio is on, your stabilization's on, because these things do have a built-in stabilization. It does help. It's not perfect, but it does help quite a bit. Audio on these is the only downside. The audio sucks compared to even the Shot Track. The audio is better on the Shot Track, but again, it's worth it. The trade-off, these things are very light, very small, low profile. So yeah, GoPros, expensive to buy and modify. The parts for them you cannot replace easily. Yeah, you can find some of them aftermarket parts. You get what you pay for. For the ones that are close to being production, I think the 4s you can still get parts for, but the 3s, the 3 pluses, so the ones that are cheap enough you'd want to modify and still have a good frame rate, 60 frames per second, parts you can't get them easily. So again, profile's too wide. You don't want something that large hanging off your barrel. RunCam is pretty small form factor there. It's made for RCs, which is RC applications, which is why all the parts are replaceable separately. So great platform to work off of. Should you break anything, you can replace it. Should you lose it, not going to break the bank. So for BrainExploder parts on complete assembly, I think it's about $215 with the mount. I think the mounts are kind of expensive, but it's worth it. That way you don't have to screw around with some sort of GoPro mount for your barrel. And nobody wants to use a handlebar mount. The Inception mount might work a little bit better. You just want something that's small. It's not going to tweak on you. But with this, you would have the adjustability. You tighten your screw, set the angle you want. Hopefully it doesn't get bumped. But again, large form factor coming off the barrel. Anything that's going to screw with your eye down the barrel, you don't really want. And you want something blocking your vision. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I will have links to everything in the comments, so please check them out. I'll have BrainExploder's website's link to it, and I'll have the link for the Amazon for the Weaver mount right here.